My name is Rachel Morrison. I'm 30 years old. And 3 nights ago, I learned that the person who taught me to ride a bike could also teach me what betrayal truly feels like. It was Tuesday evening. I had just finished putting away groceries when I heard a sound from my laptop that made my blood run cold. Not one email notification. Not two. 17 back-to-back alerts that something had gone horribly wrong with my bank accounts. My hands were still wet from washing strawberries when I grabbed my phone. The screen showed numbers I couldn't believe. My checking account, empty. My savings account where I kept money for emergencies, gone. Even the special account I opened when my daughter Emma was born, the one with her college fund, $0.00. Before I tell you what happened next, please hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. Your support means everything to me, and I read every single comment. I stood there in my kitchen, frozen like a statue, staring at my phone screen. My heart was beating so loud I could hear it in my ears. Someone had moved all my money. Every single penny I had worked for. Every dollar I saved by skipping lunch. Every bit of cash I put aside by cutting coupons and shopping at thrift stores. The worst part. When I checked who did it, I saw a name I recognized immediately. The transfers came from a phone I knew. It wasn't some stranger in another country. It wasn't a computer hacker wearing a black mask. It was my own sister, Jennifer. Jennifer had access to my accounts because 5 years ago, when I was young and scared and didn't know how to handle bills, she helped me. She showed me how to set up automatic payments. She helped me when I was behind on rent. Back then, giving her access felt like the smartest thing I could do. Today, it felt like the biggest mistake of my entire life. I couldn't scream. I couldn't cry. I just stood there like someone had pressed pause on my whole body. My brain started making lists. What bills were due this week? How would I buy food? What would I tell Emma? That's when I heard tiny footsteps behind me. I turned around and saw my 10-year-old daughter standing in the doorway. Emma was wearing her purple pajamas with the unicorns on them. Her brown hair was messy from playing. She looked at my face, then at the phone in my shaking hand, then back at my face. She didn't ask what was wrong right away. Emma is smart like that. She watches and thinks before she talks. Finally, she took a deep breath and said something that made no sense to me. "Mom," she whispered, "don't worry. I handled it." My heart jumped in my chest. I stared at my daughter like she had just spoken a different language. What could a 10-year-old child possibly handle about someone stealing all our money? "What do you mean you handled it?" I asked. My voice sounded strange, like someone else was talking through my mouth. Emma climbed onto the kitchen chair next to me like this was a normal Tuesday night. Like we were just talking about homework or what to have for dinner. "I did what you always taught me," she said calmly. "When something looks wrong, you don't wait. You press the button." I looked back at my phone screen. Right at the top, I saw words I had completely missed before. Account locked. Suspicious activity detected. All transactions paused for review. My daughter hadn't just noticed someone was stealing our money. She had stopped them. For a moment I forgot how to breathe. The room felt too hot and too cold at the same time. I stared at those words on my phone screen. Account locked. Transactions paused. One transfer was sitting there, frozen in the middle. Half gone, half saved. Like someone had slammed a door shut just in time. You locked the accounts," finally said. Emma looked at me like I was being silly. "Yeah, Mom. You always say the emergency button is there for a reason. So I used it." I felt relief wash over me like cold water. But it was mixed with something else. Shame. Embarrassment. I work in an office helping people with their computer problems. I spend my whole day telling people what buttons to click and what links to avoid. And yet my 10-year-old daughter had reacted faster than me. "But how did you even know it was Aunt Jennifer?" I asked, still trying to understand. Emma reached under the couch and pulled out her tablet. The pink case was covered in stickers of cats and rainbows. "Remember when you made me share my location with you?" she said. "And you shared yours with me and Aunt Jennifer? So we wouldn't get lost at the zoo last summer." I remembered. We had gone to the city zoo, and I was terrified we'd get separated in the crowd. I made sure all three of us could see where each other were on our phones. I never turned it off after that day. When the bank sent that first alert to your phone, Emma continued, tapping her screen, I checked. Aunt Jennifer's little was blinking at some motel 2 hours away. Your dot was here at home. So I knew something was really wrong. Her voice was so calm, so matter of fact, like she was explaining how to make a peanut butter sandwich, not how she had just saved our entire future. That's when my shock turned into something sharper, something that felt like fire in my chest. Jennifer didn't just take money. She took it knowing I had a daughter to feed. She took it knowing every dollar meant something. Groceries, rent, Emma's school supplies, the electricity bill. Jennifer had used the access I gave her when I was young and scared and didn't know better. She had waited until the moment was right, and then she took everything. Emma's voice got quieter. Mom, are we going to be okay? That question hit me harder than anything else that night. Not, can you fix this? Not, what happens now? Just that simple, scared question. Are we going to be okay? Yes, I said, pulling her into a tight hug. Yes, baby. We're going to be okay. She tried to take everything, but because of you, she didn't get it all. I needed those words to sound like the truth, not just a hope. Emma hugged me back, and I could feel her small body relaxing against mine. But inside my head, my thoughts were racing like a storm. Bank accounts, access codes, security questions. All the places Jennifer's fingerprints had been over the years. People online make it sound so easy. Just cut off toxic family, they say. Just block them and move on. They never talk about what happens when that family member already has your passwords, already knows your security answers, already has pieces of your life in their hands. 2 days passed. 48 hours of me changing passwords, calling the bank, talking to security departments, and filling out forms that made my hand cramp from writing so much. I was sitting at my kitchen table on Thursday afternoon, talking to my best friend Sarah on a video call. Sarah works at the same office as me. She was helping me go through all the security logs, checking every single place Jennifer had ever touched my accounts. Emma sat at the other end of the table, drawing pictures with her colored pencils. She was drawing what looked like superheroes punching a dragon that was carrying bags with $signs on them. That's when my phone started ringing. Unknown number. Texas area code. I held up one finger to Sarah and answered. Hello. What did you do? Jennifer's voice exploded through the phone so loud I had to pull it away from my ear. No, hello. No, I'm sorry. Just pure rage mixed with panic. You locked everything. Do you have any idea what you just did to me? Her voice used to make me feel small, like a little kid getting scolded. But that day, it didn't work anymore. Hi, Jennifer, I said calmly. Nice to hear from you. How's that motel treating you? I heard her gasp. She hadn't expected me to know where she was. Don't play games with me, Rachel. The bank is calling me about fraud investigations. You had no right to do this. You don't understand how any of this works. I glanced at Emma. She had stopped drawing and was watching me with wide eyes. You stole from your own niece, I said quietly into the phone. You took money that was supposed to buy her food. And now you're mad because I noticed. Jennifer laughed, but it didn't sound happy. It sounded mean. You think this is over. You think pressing a button makes you safe. You just mess things up for people who don't like waiting, Rachel. What people? Yes. You don't need to know, she snapped. You just need to unlock those accounts right now. Unless you want some very angry people showing up at your door. The threat hung in the air like smoke. Heavy, Terry, real. Old Rachel would have apologized. Old Rachel would have tried to fix things and keep everyone happy, even when they were hurting her. But something inside me had changed. You don't get to scare me into helping you, I said firmly. Not after what you did. You think you're brave now. Jennifer's voice got higher. Because you clicked a button. You're just an office worker, Rachel. You fix computers. You don't run anything. You have no idea who you just dragged into this mess. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. And you have no idea how much evidence you just handed me by calling and threatening me." There was a pause. Just a small one. But I heard it. "Don't try to be smart," Jennifer hissed. "You think locking some money makes you safe? It makes you a problem. And problems get fixed." Hung up. My hands were shaking when I put the phone down. Sarah's face filled my laptop screen, her eyes wide. "Rachel, I heard most of that. This is serious." "I know," I said quietly. We spent the next hour writing down everything. Every word Jennifer said. Every threat she made. The exact time she called. Sarah helped me save the recording from my phone. We created a folder with dates and details and proof. Emma stayed quiet, but she kept drawing. This time she drew a picture of the two of us standing behind a big wall. On the other side of the wall was a stick figure that looked angry. That night, after Emma fell asleep holding her stuffed elephant, I sat alone in the dark kitchen and played Jennifer's words over in my head. People who don't like waiting. Problems get fixed. Those weren't words someone uses when they steal money because they're desperate. Those were words someone uses when they're working with dangerous people. The next morning, I got an email from an address I didn't recognize. No name. No greeting. Just one sentence. "Family problems should stay private." Below it was a link. I didn't click it. Instead, I copied the link and pasted it into a safety checker website. It led to a forum. A place where people talked about money tricks that were really just scams dressed up with fancy words. My heart sank when I opened the page in a protected browser. At the top of the forum was a post with my name in the title. Inside were screenshots. My photo from work. A picture someone took of me and Emma at her school's spring fair last month. And comments. Horrible comments from strangers talking about how to pressure a single mom. How long it would take before she gave up. One comment made me feel sick. "Just involve the kid. That'll make her cooperate fast." I closed the laptop so hard the screen went black. My hands were shaking. My breath came in short, fast gasps. "Mom!" Emma's voice came from the hallway. "Are you okay?" I forced myself to smile. "Just finishing some work, sweetie. Go get ready for school." She looked at me for a long moment, then nodded and walked away. I sat there in the silence, finally understanding what Jennifer meant. This wasn't about the money anymore. This was about control. About making me so scared I would do whatever they wanted. But here's what Jennifer didn't know. Here's what those people on that forum didn't understand. I wasn't just protecting money. I was protecting my daughter. And there is nothing more dangerous than a mother who has decided her child's safety is worth more than keeping the peace. I picked up my phone and called the police. Not the regular line. The special number for financial crimes that Sarah had given me. I told them everything. The theft, the threats, the forum with my picture, the comment about Emma. The detective I spoke to, Detective Michelle Harris, listened to every word. "You did the right thing by calling," she said. "This isn't just theft anymore. This is intimidation. And when children are mentioned, we take that very seriously." Within a week, Jennifer and her husband were arrested. Not at some fancy house. At that same motel Emma had spotted on the location map. They found evidence on their phones. Messages, plans, connections to other people who stole money the same way. The accounts were unfrozen. The money came back. Not all of it immediately, but enough. Enough to keep us safe. Enough to prove that doing the right thing doesn't always mean losing. Emma asked me one night, "Mom, did we win?" Thought about it. "We didn't win," I said. "We survived. And sometimes that's even better." She smiled and went back to her drawing. This time, she drew two people holding hands, standing in the sunshine. If you made it this far, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this story. Your support keeps this channel going. And remember, boundaries aren't mean. They're protection. Until next time, this is Flex Revenge Unfold.